Here's today's In Touch reflection on Give and Take.
This month's reflection is based on verses 3 through 8 of Romans chapter 12. For through the grace given to me, I say to everyone among you, not to think more highly of himself than he ought to think, but to think so as to have sound judgment, as God has allotted to each a measure of faith. For just as we have many parts in one body, and all the body's parts do not have the same function, so we, who are many, are one body in Christ, and individually parts of one another. However, since we have gifts that differ according to the grace given to us, each of us is to use them properly. If prophecy, in proportion to one's faith; if service, in the act of serving; or the one who teaches in the act of teaching; or the one who exhorts in the work of exhortation; the one who gives with generosity; the one who is in leadership with diligence; the one who shows mercy with cheerfulness.
Deep, honest relationships require time and effort. But as human beings, we all have physical, mental, and emotional limits that we can't ignore. Even Jesus, who was all-powerful, took time to step away from the crowds and his disciples to recharge by connecting with God the Father. When we can't give as much to our relationships as we hoped, it might be our turn to receive. Moses is a great example of this. When he held up the staff of God, Israel prevailed over Amalek. But as his arms grew tired and he lowered them, Amalek gained ground. So Aaron and Hur supported Moses' hands, one on one side and one on the other, so that his hands were steady until the sun set. And Joshua defeated Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword. That's from Exodus chapter 17. Moses' story reminds us that sometimes the best thing we can do is let our family and friends help. After all, 1 Corinthians 12, verses 18 through 26 explains that God designed us to lean on one another. Think about it. Do you know when it's time to invest in a particular relationship and when to step back? Take a moment to ask the Lord for wisdom to navigate this give and take.